Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started with this Black Gold Solutions live stream. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I am the author of the new book, Black Gold Devalued. And this is the Black Gold Solutions live stream. Our purpose of this stream is to not just talk about issues affecting the black community, destroying the black community, but talk about bring to the community concrete solutions that are going to help change the black community for the better. So we're not here to just talk about current news issues, talk about things that are trending, talk about pop culture, talk about what's rising in the news cycle, I guess, but merely talk about specifically things that are affecting the community and solutions. Now, from time to time, we will highlight a certain issue as it relates to what's happening in the news cycle to draw attention to our overall point. But we are about solutions for the black community. Hence the title of the stream, Black Gold Solutions. My stream on my Facebook is having issues connecting, so let's hope it possibly begin really soon. Again, my name is Tamani. I'm the author of the new book, Black Gold Devalued, a contributing member to the Black Gold Movement and the Black Nation. And I am here to continue to talk about how we need to get back to owning and controlling our environment as much as possible. I have been saying for the past few streams that Black Wall Street as it existed in Tulsa, Oklahoma was not only a very good idea and something that we need to, well, Facebook is back, okay. Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma was not only a very good idea and something that we advanced and excelled at, but that's something that we need to get back to. And again, when we say Black Wall Street, we're not just talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was a community that existed from 1911 to 1920 and was extremely successful with what they accomplished, and was subsequently destroyed by a white mob or a white-led race riot. But we're also talking about those quote-unquote Black Wall Streets of black communities that existed, all of whom were successful doing their own thing, but were also subsequently destroyed by white people. So getting a good understanding of the importance of a Black Wall Street and the importance of owning and controlling one's community is key, in my opinion, and extremely important to move forward. I often discuss, chat with, debate black people online, specifically on Facebook, and a lot of them have a Pan-African view, which is good. It's okay and even necessary. But I think sometimes we get caught up in the idea of being Pan-Africanist and not fighting simultaneously or where we are. I think since we are here, we need to focus on creating change here. Since we're going through hell here as a people, we need to fight that fight while we make connections with our brothers and sisters abroad and help them rebuild their communities, their cities, and their country, and of course the continent itself. But I think since we are here and we've been here, we need to build here. So the idea of having a Black Wall Street, which is a community that we both own and control, to me is extremely important, because if we can't protect our children and our women and our elders, and if we can't control the economics in our immediate communities, if we can't properly educate our children, our community members, our neighbors, if we can't properly ensure that all the black excellence that we create, we keep and benefit from before anyone else does, and then I think any other move is going to be extremely difficult. And while I agree that being a Pan-Africanist is a very, 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 very good and vital thing, I do not agree that we should do that at the while not doing something here where we are. And as I always say, I am 100% in support of and committed to making sure a liberated and free Africa exists one day. But again, to try and do that while not focusing on what we're going through here right now in 2017, I think it's a bad strategic move. So what we are trying to accomplish with the Black Gold movement, so that we can build a Black Gold nation, is really getting Black people to understand and realize that our first major move needs to be not just educating our children and connecting with other Black people around the country who are doing similar things, but we must make moves to own and control the areas where we live. If we could own and control those areas, then we have a chance to not only eliminate the threats both within and without the community, but we can ensure that the positive and righteous things that our community needs, our community can get. And as I have said many times before, and I'm sure I will continue to say, I am a proud supporter and a longtime member, not as active as I was, but still a longtime supporter. And I was a member of an organization called the Shrines of the Black Madonna for 20 years here in the Houston area. And when I say that being a member of the Shrine for 20 plus years, I say that it is the closest thing to heaven Black people will ever see, because it was an environment that was 100% owned and controlled by Black people. The level of love and acceptance and camaraderie and brotherly, sisterly struggle together was absolutely amazing. And if we could replicate that communal love and that shared mission and purpose to Black people around the country, then you have a not only a movement, but you have the groundworks to create a serious power base by which we can not only do things for ourselves here in America, but we can most certainly do those things abroad and anywhere else people of color exist. So having that experience, I am saying I know what it feels like. I know the strength of, I know the benefits of being in an environment, living in an environment, raising my children as well as the community members' children in that environment. And I'm saying that the vast majority, if not absolute every threat that exists in the Black community right now, from poverty to police brutality to crime, regardless if it's assault, rape, murder, robbery, drugs, lack of education, poverty, if I didn't already say that one, lack of a support system that's going to not only help the person get through what they're currently going through, but help all of us deal with the trauma that we've all been affected by, which is slavery and this American system. I say if we don't have an environment that we can do all of those things, then we're not only fooling ourselves as to what exactly we're doing to combat this anti-American system moving forward, but we also are doing absolutely nothing for the next generation of Black leaders, children, women, and elders to follow us. So we're focused on that and not just creating one Black Wall Street. We want to create several of them in every major city in this country, and as many smaller ones as we can around those cities. If you were to go to Google and type in the words Chinatowns in the USA, and you hit enter, return on your keyboard, you're going to get a listing of a few hits, but the top three are probably going to be Wikipedia pages, at least the top two. You click on one of those links and you'll see that there's a Chinatown in every major city in this country. Well, we need to be the exact same way. And although we have been on that path to have little Africas or Black Wall Streets or whatever around the country, we know that those things have been attacked physically. So that means that moving forward, we need to take a look at history, understand and realize what our goal is, what our purpose is, our message and mission is, and more importantly, who our enemy is and how he operates, so that we can adequately protect that which we're trying to build. We can adequately defend that which we're trying to build. And we must understand and realize that while armed struggle sounds good, There's more than one way to protect oneself and one's community, and we have to be smart and diligent and creative in how we do that. And we have to also realize that certain kinds of, I guess, moves or movements would not be the wisest thing to do at this point because of our position and where we are. So, two things. I'm keeping this stream relatively short because we have two major things that we're working on, and I don't want to spend too much time on other things because we need to get moving on these two things first. The first one is, as I've said several times before, we're not going to have a Black Wall Street of any kind if we don't have leadership that's on the same page, that has an understanding of what we're trying to do. They've adopted and accepted and are willing to move forward with the message and the mission of building strong Black communities that are linked nationwide. We're never going to do that if we don't have leadership that's on the same page. And that doesn't mean leadership that comes from the same church or from the same political organization or is of the same, sexual persuasion. Most certainly we're not talking about it has to all be brothers. That's absolutely ridiculous. We're saying that as long as you can accept three simple things and you are moving in a significant way in certain areas that are needed, then we are looking for you to be a leader of this Black Gold movement. So those three things are, you accept the fact that you are Black and are of African descent. Extremely important. You accept the fact that we are in a precarious, very dangerous situation here in America, and you accept the fact that we need to do something about it. So you accept that you're Black and are of African descent. You accept that we have serious problems in this country as Black people or people of African descent, and you accept that we need to do something about them. In a nutshell, regardless of anything else that is going on with you in your life, what you believe, where you're from, again, how you vote, sexual orientation, or whatever, if you can agree on those three things, then that is enough for us to start moving forward together in a unified manner. We can deal with the other stuff later. We can talk about the other stuff later. We can debate, vote on, argue, whatever about later. But if you can agree on those three things, then that is enough for us to move forward in a unified manner to start building this Black nation within the nation with power, so that we can take care of what's happening with Black people now, today, as an effort to build for the future moving forward. So, to find that leadership, which I know exists in this country, around this country, and I know because I meet them almost every day and I communicate with them and or their supporters almost every day. We are having the first Black leadership election to take place April 14th of next year, and the purpose of that election is to do just that, elect leadership that's been nominated by the community in multiple areas that we feel are needed to build a nation. We've done research on different governments, different nations around the world, both now and in the past, and we've taken those departments, those areas that constantly pop up, and say, okay, well that is what is needed to build a nation, and we've included those areas, those departments that we think will specifically benefit Black people. So all of this information can be found on the blackgoldnation.com website. All this information is there, but I'm going to run through the list of the departments for right now, just so you'll know what we're thinking and what we're talking about. And although we've listed, researched 18 different departments, that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be or can't be a 19th or 20th. We're simply saying that per our research, we've only come up with 18. So if you know of one that we're missing, then please let us know, and we'll most certainly research it and add it to the list. But as of right now, the 18 departments that we have right now that are up for leadership for this first national election is agribusiness, business development, economics and finance, city planning and business integration, infrastructure and construction, domestic policy / sustainability, education, foreign policy, health and nutrition, media, marketing and public relations, national security, politics, employment and training, spiritual health and well-being, information technology and intelligence and defense, and the last one is legal. So those are the 18 departments we've outlined so far that we believe we need to find leadership for, so that we can get about the work of building this nation within a nation with power. And again, if there should be a 19th through 25th, then by all means let us know what we're possibly missing so we can add that to the list, so we can start finding those candidates as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing that is really big, that I mentioned last week, we have started our first fundraising campaign. It most certainly will not be the last, but this is a monumental step forward for us to start laying the groundwork in a serious, realistic, methodical, systematic way moving forward. One of the issues, maybe even the greatest issue that we have as a people in this country, is that we don't control or have a significant ownership stake in industry. Jobs move out of the community. We are at the mercy of those that do the moving, so our communities fall apart as a result. And of course, other things happen as far as lack of political support, harassment by the police department and the government, and of course drugs, which is a big issue that we will most certainly get into later. But not being able to employ, train, and give your people a way to live their lives tangibly is a big issue. So if we can either bring industry to the community, or we can create industry that is close to a community, then that places us in a position to build power for our people in the inner city in this country. So our first fundraising campaign is an effort to do just that. We, the members and supporters of the Black Gold Nation, we have been collaborating with other black organizations nationally, but of course here in the greater Houston area. And as a result, we have aligned ourselves with an organization. I don't want to get the title wrong, which I often do. Forgive me, Brother Lloyd, if I say it incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure it is Cooperative Group Economics. I'm pretty sure that is it. Cooperative Group Economics. I can't find his business card. But that's the first group. The second one is aquaponics. Oh, here it is. Okay, I was wrong. Creative Group Economics. Creative Group Economics is one of the groups that we're working with. Aquaponics for Life, is another group, and the last one is the Dwinneman Foundation. The Black Gold Nation has partnered with these three organizations because we understand that no one organization has the answer, and no one person has all of the answers. So we've partnered with these organizations to help us make the extremely important and monumental move of securing land in South Carolina and Texas that is going to allow us to start building industry that we can not only employ black people in this country, but we can also then start making moves to help the community in a significant way by supplying goods and services via an economic base that we own and control that could completely change the conditions of the community. So we all, most of us know that there are a food desert that exists in and around the community. With this effort, we'll be able to better support those community leaders that are already working on the food deserts in their community by having a national hub, if you will, of farmland, ranch land that we are producing non-GMO foods that could then be shipped to these inner cities. So this fundraising effort is the last step in a series of strategic steps, planning, meetings, conversations that we've had with a number of persons nationwide to make this possible. And the final step is us simply getting two of our members to South Carolina so that they can sign necessary paperwork, make sure all of the legal documents are in place, and meet our new allies in political, academia, community leadership, and also inspect potential manufacturing plants in and around the area. So we have, as of right now, total, I think it's 14 to 1,600 acres in both South Carolina and Texas that we're looking to build industry on. And the industries that we're looking to go into are, of course, non-GMO foods, aquaponics, which is my understanding, my lay understanding is being able to grow food from plant and animal-based ecosystems, which is huge, and that can be a direct, that can also directly be done within the inner city. Hemp is also an industry that we're looking to get into, medical marijuana. So with this first fundraiser, and I think the total we're looking for is $9,375 to get these two brothers to South Carolina between the 18th and the 22nd of December. This move is going to lay the groundwork. This move can be the blueprint to what we need to duplicate the effort around the country, from South Carolina to Texas, to Louisiana, to the Midwest, to other areas where we are looking at land that we can build an economic base for industries that currently have no leader. So if we're looking at, as of right now, getting into 4 or 5 industries that currently have no leader, then again, that creates a tremendous opportunity for us to not only employ and train black people, but also gives us a base of operations by which we can have retreats, spiritual healing and development retreats, meeting spaces, meeting centers, strategic planning sessions, business building events. It just gives us an opportunity to be in a physical place where not only we're safe from the dangers that exist in an inner city, but it also gives us a strong economic foothold by which we can build upon. And from there, we simply expand and build on what we're already doing, and we bring more and more people into it as we continue to build and grow on the thousands of acres that we are currently looking at and will subsequently have. So to be a part of this fundraiser, simply go to fundraiser.com, www.fundrazr. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Sister April, if I'm wrong, please let me know. www.fundrazr.com. Go to the search menu and type in Black Gold Nation, and you will see the fundraising campaign. And we not only want you to be a part, we're trying to find 1,000 black people who understand the message, understand the mission, want to be a part of the vision, to give us $10 to reach this goal. And we're looking for 100 people who want to do a little more than simply give $10. They want to help us find 10 other people to also give $10. So this is something that doesn't necessarily have to break the bank. And if $10 is too much, then by all means give what you can and or give less. Or if you can't give anything, because like one brother told me this morning, his money is funny, which is understandable. You can most certainly give time to help us find other people whose money isn't funny and they want to be a part. So everyone can do something to make this fundraising campaign a success. And once we have this one success, we simply build upon that to create more and more success. We are certainly getting traction around the nation with things that we're working on. We're getting more and more support for our ambassadorship, which is finding more and more young, motivated black people around the country who want to be a part of something that's methodical, systematic, that makes sense, that they can get in on and help build. We're getting more and more traction, and I apologize for my Facebook live stream. It's having issues, so I'm just going to focus on YouTube and Periscope. Okay, Facebook's back. So we're getting traction with our ambassadorship program. We're getting traction with more candidates. We have one new one that'll be coming on board, and I'm going to start doing interviews with candidates probably in 2 weeks, so that those that make the live stream, those that see the live stream, can get a better understanding of whom we're looking at voting for that could potentially be a leader for the Black Nation moving forward. So we're getting traction in a lot of areas, but the more traction we get, the more support we're going to need to do what we're trying to do. So the two biggest things that we're working on right now is finding leadership for the election next April. But before that, more importantly, we need to get these two brothers to South Carolina, which is why we're having this fundraising campaign. And again, this is a monumental move forward because it's been in the works for at least a year. That the brother who is actually who spearheaded this, two brothers, Dwayne Evans of the Dwinneman Foundation and brother Robert Harding, who's over Aquaponics for Life. These two brothers have been working on this venture for quite some time, and they finally reached a point where they're ready to move forward. And quite honestly, the opportunity dropped in, their laps a bit sooner than expected. So when opportunity drops, you have to move on it or you lose it. And that's what we're trying to do. We weren't planning to actually make this move for another few months, but opportunity started knocking, so we're trying to open the door. And we can most certainly do that with your assistance. So when you have an opportunity, go to the fundraiser website. I saw Sister April, she posted a link. I'm pretty sure it's fundrazr.com. In the search bar, type in Black Gold Nation. Our campaign will pop up. And contribute what you can, but we're looking for 1,000 people to give $10 so that we can make this goal hopefully within a week, so we can get these brothers on the road so they can move forward to get this serious, realistic work of rebuilding Black Wall Street to make our communities not only bigger, better, stronger, but build green cities for us as well. So everything that we do, everything that the Black Nation does, the Black Gold Movement does, everything we do is to ensure we are moving forward toward the rebuilding of Black Wall Streets in this country. If we don't make these moves to protect Black children, minds, bodies, and spirits of Black children, if we don't make these moves to protect Black women, minds, bodies, and spirits of Black women, if we don't make these moves to protect our elders, their minds, their bodies, their spirits, and they've already lived a full life and still have more to give, but we need to give them something to plug into. If we don't do these things, then everyone who is watching the stream, anyone who may see the stream after it's already aired, then we are failing ourselves and the next generation of Black leadership and Black people. We must get about the task of building something with power, and that power has to be economic and political, and then we must do that in every major city in this country. And simultaneously, while doing that, we must also connect with other people of color, other melanated people around the world, so that we can most certainly build a movement that's not just us here in America, but include Black and or African people in Brazil, Black African people in Africa, Black African people in Europe. And the more we build here, the more we build a power base that has message, mission programs here, then the more we'll be able to help other Black people elsewhere do what they're trying to do. And collectively, we'll not only make our immediate communities better, but we also will make the surrounding cities better, which can serve to make the country better, which makes everyone better. We believe that if it's good for the Black community, it's good for America, and if it's good for America, it's good for the world. So in our effort to make the Black community better, bigger, better, stronger, we most certainly have it within us to make the world bigger, better, stronger. And as we once ruled and ran the world, we can most certainly rule and run it again. So I'm going to close with two things that I always try to close with. And before I do that, let me recap. Again, my name is Tamani. I'm the author of the new book, Black Gold Devalued. I am a contributing member to the Black Gold Movement. And anything that that you hear from the live streams, or anything that I've been speaking on, you can find at the website. More information on it at blackgoldnation.com. And of course, check out the fundraising campaign on the website Fundraiser, www.fundrazr.com, and type in Black Gold Nation in the search bar. So with that, I'm going to close with these two sayings. One comes from one of my mentors, a very, 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 very strong and powerful sister by the name of Ada Edwards. She said after every radio show, she used to have here in the greater Houston area. She would say that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And that is true. And secondly, a statement is saying that we used to say in the shrine every day, and that is always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of black people. So with those two statements, I thank you all for making the live stream. I think we only had one person, Sister April, who's always there. Sister Oni is there, and I think that is it. So please share the live stream with anyone you think might be of interest. And of course, if we don't have your email, please forward that to us. And let me say that we have had a very, 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 very good response for the fundraising campaign. As far as people say they want to be a part. Now, if I can just get them to do something, then we can move forward. So again, thank you for making the live stream. Remember that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And of course, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation of black people. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I will see you guys at the next live stream this coming Tuesday at 12 noon Central Standard Time. Thank you very much. God bless.